Shaw. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Ralph Mooney and his tunings. I have a radio show now. It's called Raising the Bar. It's on Steel Radio. You can hear it steelradio.org. If you go to that website, it's on 3 different times a week. I just did a show featuring Ralph Mooney, and he has a very unique tuning and copedant and playing style, and I thought some of y'all might be more interested in getting to learn a little bit more about it. So anyway, Ralph Mooney, the stuff he used on the early Buck Owens records, he actually built his own steel guitar. Supposedly it had coat hangers as pedal rods. So, but at one point he, I guess, gave that to Leo Fender, and Leo Fender studied it supposedly, and then Leo gave him a Fender 1000 like this. Fender 1000s have 2 necks of 8 strings each. So it predates the 10-string tunings. So you have to make some adaptations just because of that. When they were playing these, they didn't put the chromatic strings on the top. So basically his tuning is like a 10-string chromatic tuning without the top 2 chromatic strings. It's G sharp on the top, which he's actually the guy who was the first guy to put G sharp as the top string on a pedal steel. Before that, it was kind of adapted from an E13 and A6 tuning where the E was on the top. So anyway, he put the G sharp on the top. So his E9 tuning from the highest string is G sharp, E, B, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, and B. Now, he used 5 pedals for these changes. So what he did was actually use the 5 pedals that people would normally use for the C6 neck. He used that neck instead for E9. So each pedal only pulls 1 string. This is different than the more standard E9 pedal tuning. The first pedal, we're going to start from the player's left. First pedal raises the low G sharp to A. The second pedal raises the high B to C sharp. So the 2 of them together is very similar to the Jimmy Day style tuning, if you're used to that. But then the next pedal over is the high G sharp to A. So when you do those 2 strings together, it's like the Emmons style tuning. Now the second to the player's right is going to raise the E, the high E to F sharp. And then the pedal all the way to your right is going to lower the top G sharp to G. So now, why did he do this stuff? Well, actually, before I get into that, I'm supposed to remind y'all, if you like what you're seeing, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up. And once again, you can hear more Ralph Mooney on my radio show, Raising the Bar, on Steel Radio. Anyway, getting back into how this works and how to play it. Now, you do have to play with 2 feet. That's something that can be more difficult if you're not used to it. You definitely have to take your foot off the volume pedal sometimes. Now, the one thing that's very different between this and a regular E9 tuning is that change, which is the G sharp to G lower. Now, some people do that these days, but that's still not really standard. Some people will also put a F sharp to G raise on their chromatic strings, but he used this in such a specific way. It really is easiest to think the way that he was thinking. So he used that G sharp to G lower for this lick a lot. What that does is give you a 7th chord. Now you can do that if you have that note on one of the chromatic strings on a knee lever, but if you don't have it on a knee lever, there's no way to do that where it sustains through like that. Now another thing that he uses that particular pedal for a lot is he plays this little thing where he kind of goes from a blue note that, or a flat third into a major third like this. Now you can kind of fudge that if you don't have this pedal by going like this, but it's not going to be exactly the same sound as this, where it's tight and clean like that, because he also does this, and there's no way you can really slide this unless you're Jerry Bird. You'll hear that those type of licks a lot when you're listening to Mooney. Now another thing that is unique to this tuning, and some people will put this on their steels, their 10-string steels, just to be able to play this stuff, is they'll separate this change, which is the high E to F sharp. And the reason you would need that is when you're playing this kind of stuff. It's very, very difficult, and I don't know how you could really do it if you had that C sharp and the F sharp on the same raise like that. So when you're able to just, with your right foot, do that first little jump, and then your left feet do the other one, it makes it real smooth. So sometimes you got to play this stuff. He'll play it pretty fast too. So that's very difficult to play if you don't have these specific pedals. Or anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, tune into my radio show, like the video, give me a thumbs up. I sure appreciate y'all, and hope to see you back here next time.